Yama, everyone. I'd like to pay my acknowledgement to the traditional owners of Ngunnawal, to the past, present and the future. When I was representing my people at the native title table, I was representing my family and clan, the Gomeroi people from the Wirriyaroi, which means Terriai in English. That's the area between the Wirriyaroi River and Mount Capita of northern New South Wales. This is a refuge area for the Gomeroi people. My clan were the caretakers. In 2016, I got elected as a native title rep for the nation in Tamworth on the conditions that nothing would be signed away without the consent of the Gomeroi nation. This was because the last applicants had done a dirty deal with the mining companies. When I arrived back home in Wirriyaroi after being elected, I let my family know. My mother gave me a piece of paper. My mother gave me a message, which was clear: not to disgrace the family or the ancestors. Don't go away signing country that doesn't belong to you. And get the message back to my community and family. Then my mother handed me another letter from Santos. She didn't understand how her name was given to them. And then we found out that the letter was going out to all the Aboriginal local land councils. She was not happy about this and did not agree having her name given to a company that ticks the box for consultations. So when I started with the negotiating with Santos, I didn't really know what was happening or what the game was. But I learnt my people didn't know either. The white system had kept them out of the picture, and only a few people, privileged people, the rap groups and a few selected land councils had any idea what was going on. It was hard at first, going to the Santos meetings to negotiate with them. The games they were playing, there wasn't much room left for our law in the discussion. Santos even claimed there was no biodiversity in the Pilliga and there was no impact on our great artesian groundwater. It was a shock to find out that they had not even gathered knowledge or stories from the elders reporting of the cultural significance of the Pilliga. They had never even mentioned the Airy Man. So I found him in an art gallery in Wirriyaroi, and he was done by my father and made him the guardian of our campaign. They refused to give us answers to questions. Other times they just slammed thick books of 3,000 pages in front of us to read. They just kept coming back, wanting us to sign. They wanted us to sign away our native title rights for pittance. Initially, only $3 million for over 30 years. It was insulting. But I wasn't there to sign away anything away without the consent of my people. So we negotiated for 3 years without signing anything. We demanded more information, studies to be done so we could inform all our people. These studies never got done, so I produced my own for them. I was dealing with groups. Some of the reps that were on the body with me wanted to sign and kept telling me that resistance to Santos was useless and they were too powerful. But I put my faith in my people and pushed for our decision to go back to the nation. I put pressure on all the other applicants, the reps, by getting all their information out and asking the Gomeroi people to call each and every one of them that they were representing there in the groups. And that's representative of all the clans within the Gomeroi, so I told them to ring them. The decision then went to the nation meeting in 22, and our people stood proud and voted down the offer from Santos. But we knew no one could take that away from us that day. But then Santos and the tribunal tried. Santos took us to the tribunal. Despite our best effort, the decision went against us, taking away our native title rights without any compensation at all. The president on the tribunal didn't even recognise the nation vote, and at one point ordered us back to mediation. So then Santos sent in their big gun, Tracy Winters, who just tried to intimidate us. She told us Santos had a huge footprint across Australia, but I had to remind her our footprint's bigger. First Nation covers the entire mediation. I had the government also, the reps in there, in tears, pointing out that they continued to break our law and treat us with disrespect. But I knew if we appealed to the federal courts, we had a better chance and more people would take notice of our fight. And so on 7th of March 24, this year the court upheld our appeal on the grounds that the tribunal had not considered public interest. And the court ruled that the tribunal did not think climate change was an issue which affected us. But it does. First Nation people are greatly impacted by climate change, and it disturbs our food system and our natural balance of life. We have lived through the ice ages. We know what changes are. This is why Santos would have been devastating for our country. It will affect the air, the land and the water because this time it's man-made. Our groundwater is too precious to interfere with, and Santos wanted to pump poison into it. No, they don't. It stops here with us. The federal court decision may have impacts for the future cases about native title and climate change, and that's a good come out for all of us. A good outcome for all of us. But the future act of native title are disrespectful to our people by giving the companies the right to negotiate without giving us the right to veto, forcing us to the table without respecting our traditional ways of engagement. The white law on these things need to change. Now, I know you educated people, you know this, but there's two laws here in our country, your law and our law. Our law is Bigham, it's Gamilaroi. It's been here since we've been here. It comes from our mummy. It defines our relationships and our responsibility to each other and to Mother Earth. And here's a couple of more quick ideas. Custodianship, passing on country to the next generation in a much healthier state. Aren't our children part of us? And aren't we a part of our grandparents? I believe you white people call this intergenerational equity, don't you? Let's go. Protection. Protect the family that lives on the land, because the people that look after the land, the people look after the land and the land look after the people, and you can't have one without the other. My family are a strong family grounded in our traditions and stories, and I was taught to listen to your elders and your ancestors. So my job was simple. Don't sell out people. Don't sell out your people, because nothing is worth more than us. That's what my mummy told me. Nothing is worth more than us, our family, our ancestors, and their memories. This was my grandfather's mission in the face of colonisation and genocide, to preserve the family at all costs. And because of his protection of his family is the reason why I'm standing here today in front of you. So, thank you, and I will take questions from anyone that would like to ask me anything about how we did it. Thank you. So, is there any?
Hi, we probably just have time for one question before we move on to the next person, but if you could put your hand up, and there's microphones running around.
We have one.
Yeah, you have your hand up first. Do you want to shout it? Is that okay?
I've got a loud voice.
Perfect.
Thank you so much for your story. What are your plans for the future?
Is to keep them out of my country. And also to help my other family around Australia, to let them know what they're doing is wrong. This is our country. We haven't given it up. You know, we still own the rights to the water, the land and the air. And it's not for sale. And neither are we. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. We love that we can make these videos free to watch, but they're not free to make. It's thanks to our generous supporters that we can keep making research and content that changes minds. So, if you like what we do, please consider giving to the Australia Institute so we can keep doing it. Visit our website australiainstitute.org.au and click the donate button to see how your support can help fund high quality research that matters.